We are in the midst of describing the different ways that God speaks, and it's our heart, and I believe the heart of God, to bring us to a place where we understand more of what God is saying. Just let me catch this properly here. Oops. Oh, come on here. It's giving me a hard time. There we are, hopefully. All right. We're dealing with the ways that God speaks, and we've done visions and dreams and the voice of God walking, the similitude of the Lord. And we want to move on today to dark sayings. This one takes a little more time because it's not as easy to define and not one we know all that well. We go back to Numbers 12, verse 8. With him, speaking of Moses, will I speak mouth to mouth, even apparently, and not in dark speeches. And the similitude of the Lord shall he behold. Wherefore then were ye not afraid to speak against my servant Moses? A dark saying is one that needs interpretation, meaning its meaning is not clear except to the prophet using it, and it will often need interpretation. Here is the definition from the original word. It's a puzzle, a conundrum, a hard question, a proverb, and we'll get into that in a minute, a riddle, and another word used to mean the same thing is a parable. Now this changes some of our approach to some of the scriptures that we have known for so long, but understand God can speak in any of these things. So let's look a little more closely at some of these. A conundrum is what may appear to be a statement that conflicts with itself, but when explained by the prophet or the interpreter, applies directly to the motivations behind the situation at hand. And often God does this. Remember, God is as gracious with us as he can be. And the scripture's clear in Proverbs. It says, it is the glory of God to conceal a matter. It's the honor of kings to search it out. And some people would say, well, why doesn't God just say it instead of give it in a vision or a dream or, as we're finding out now, a conundrum or dark saying or a puzzle? Because God's heart is to draw out the king in you. And if the king is in you, you'll begin to search out the matter. Very important for us to understand this. A proverb. Proverbs 1:2-6 says, to know wisdom and instruction, to perceive the words of understanding, to receive instruction of wisdom, justice, judgment, and equity, to give subtlety to the simple, to the young man knowledge and discretion. A wise man will hear and will increase learning, and a man of understanding shall attain unto wise counsels. To understand a proverb and the interpretation, the words of the wise and their dark sayings. Now, there is so much teaching in this, but the reason God speaks in Proverbs is laid out. And if we had time, we'd go through each one of these and how they apply. But I just want to get it out there, cause you to see the different reasons God speaks this way, and actually what he is up to, if I could put it that way. Parables or proverbs. This meaning puts the book of Proverbs in an entirely different dimension. Hidden behind the obvious in Proverbs are meanings that are prophetic. Remember, God, in speaking to Israel about Moses, said, my servant Moses is not so. I'll speak to others in a dream and a vision, and But with Moses I am going to speak face to face. The similitude of the Lord shall be he behold, and not in dark sayings. Putting dreams, visions, and dark sayings in the realm of the prophetic. And when the definition comes out as a proverb or a parable, this means the book of Proverbs is a book of parables. And we would have to then go to the parables of Jesus and see why he spoke in parables. And we're going to do that briefly, at least. I just want to leave that with you until we come back again, because this is going to take a lesson or two more. So let's think about this. Let's ask God, pray into the book of Proverbs, that God will begin to show you the meaning behind the literal. Here's our contact information. There's my snail mail address there, and you're welcome to write letters. My cell phone, only use that unless if it's some type of emergency. You can write me a snail or email at drwjhurst@gmail.com. If you send your questions that way, I have a way of responding that puts the answers in the body of the letter. It also, as far as I can, make sure that the answer, your questions are as clearly answered as I can, because I answer them in the body of the letter. There you also have my website, and on the website there are courses that I have written. There are DVDs, series, there are CD series as well, and there's also a donate button if you desire to see this ministry continue to get the message out of the King and his kingdom. This is Dr. William J. Hurst, teaching all nations the practical Word of God and mentoring students one student at a time. May God bless you and give you understanding in what we're sharing is our prayer.